Is this what you want, Michael? Is this what you want? Come and get it, motherfucker! Gotcha, Michael. It is Halloween. Everybody's entitled to one good scare. Yo, Mikey. I'm trying to, talk to my girlfriend, and then you're making a ruckus. Well, guess what? Evil dies tonight. Yee-haw! Time to round up another one, boy. Woohoo! Evil dies tonight. This is going to be an easy sweep. Evil dies tonight! What's upon a time? Evil dies tonight! It's party time! Evil dies tonight! Evil dies tonight! Birds! Attack! Do that! Oh, God! Mikey, listen, it's this whole misunderstanding. Oh, no, Michael, please, don't do it. Don't. You know what? Do it. Do it, Michael. Do it. Do it. Do it.
He killed my daughter 40 years ago and desecrated her body. Evil dies tonight. God damn it.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting, where you hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Britman's right over there, and it is time, ladies and gentlemen. We are in week 12 of the HalloScream Review Series. We are all the way up, somehow, to Halloween freaking Kills, man. What is the HalloScream Review Series, man? Well, that's what we've been doing for the last 12 weeks, man. We've been reviewing...
They should know about now.
But in case you've stumbled upon this review and you are not aware, we have been reviewing every Halloween movie over the last 12 weeks, starting with Halloween 78 all the way up to now Halloween Kills. Next week is Halloween Ends. Finally, we told you a long time ago this was going to be our landing pad for Ends, and we were not lying. Next week is time. Halloween Ends is going to be here. Of course, all those people in the description below, they'll be dropping reviews today or sometime this week as well for the same movie. Chris Snyder will be dropping one on Letterboxd. Birdie, man. Next week's Halloween Ends. Why don't you tell the little people about what we're going to do about Halloween Ends?
As you see there, from October 13th to October the 23rd, at any point, any of our channels will be dropping our Halloween Ends content, whether that be a spoiler-free review or a spoiler review, which that's what you can see from Good Real Good Will Hunting, and also a freaking Halloween Ends watch party as well. Those are going to be the 3 things we will do for Halloween Ends on our end. But yeah, stay tuned to all these other channels on when they drop their Halloween Ends content.
Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it, man. This is going to be a long time coming, man. The end of the Halloween franchise as we know it is going to be next week. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big celebration next week for sure, man. Stoked about it. But
a celebration.
We are not here to talk about Halloween Ends. We're here to talk about Halloween freaking Kills, man. Man, last year's Halloween adventure with Deputy Hawkins and all kinds of people running around. Evil died that night. Or did it? I don't know. We're going to get into it here in a minute, Birdie Lickirty.
Okay, and just to let y'all know, on the first ever time on Good Will Hunting history, this is our first re-review that we've ever done on this channel, and this is a damn good one to re-review. So without further ado, Brad, you just want to freaking get started on this.
Whip it. Yes.
All right, here we go. Let me get a deep breath here. Halloween Kills was released on October the 15th of 2021 with a IMDb of 5.5 out of 10 and Letterboxd 2.6 out of 5, where most of the folks come in at 3 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes 39% and the audience 66%. I understand that top tomato meter is not certified fresh. It is spoiled rotten. But again, we love the Halloween franchise, so we freaking keep it where it's at to cover up my mistake. But the budget is $20 million. One probably, I believe, Brad, is the record for the Halloween franchise in terms of budget.
It's gotta be. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be, man. And then the box office, $92 million, and the global made $132 million. So delayed success, even though during the time of the global bastard. And it's directed once again by David Gordon Green with our cast of Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Matichak, Judy Greer, and Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes, man. No big surprises, man. Budget got an uptick there. I like it because the last one made so much money. Still made money again here today, so they're still in the right direction. And yeah, everything looks good, man. I like it. The numbers, reviews numbers, I'm not too surprised about either. I know there was a lot of disappointed folks when this one came out.
Yeah, and this one also was streamed on Peacock too, so that's like during the global bastard, that was really smart of them to do that, and they're going to be doing that with Halloween Ends, but they're going to have the theaters have the first crack at it on like Thursday, and then Friday that's when they'll release it on the Peacock.
Yes.
Oh, what happened to my voice? So, man, dude, after 12 weeks, your voice gets started to crack a little bit, but man, you want to check our boy Michael Myers?
Let's see him.
All right, let me. Here we go. Michael Myers, the card baby, because returning to play his role of Michael Myers is James Jude Courtney, and of course, for one little thing, we get Nick Castle, which I will complain about here in a little bit, and of course, we get a freaking flashback Michael from '78, played by Aaron Armstrong. That's what I'm going to go with. If I'm wrong, just make fun of me in the comic section. And of course, the little kid we have is Christian Michael Pates. And I did put 32, but the correct answer is 31 kills in Halloween Kills. And how did he freaking kill his victims in this movie? We got a fire weapon, which I'm sure it's like something, I'm just going based off what I found and what I noticed. Yeah. I know not very detailed there. Freaking a pickaxe, a buzzsaw, a fluorescent light bulb, a butcher knife, hands, and all the freaking weapons that freaking Mob brought in at the very end too.
Yeah, dude, there was an iron in there at some point. Fire weapon is by far the best thing I've ever seen. But yeah, it's cool. It would have been, yeah, this is the absolute most carnage we've seen from Michael, I believe, in a movie. And I think, this is the highest number of kills, Bert. This is higher than the
easily, possibly, yeah, like bigger than like any movie of the big three has ever contributed. Unless if you count Jason X's spaceship debacle.
I figured that'd be the case. Oh yeah, they destroyed Earth too. Or no, no, it wasn't Earth 2. They destroyed the whole space station.
It's a space station, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just wanted to be sure. I figured that was the case, but I knew you would know for sure. So yeah, that a lot of carnage here by Michael, and that was cool. We all kind of knew this going in. That's how they kind of advertised it after Halloween 2018. This was going to pick up the same night, which it did, and then it was going to be Michael's freaking Carnage movie, and that's pretty much what it was. And yeah, man, it did very well with that, man. Michael did very well last night. If last night were Halloween 2018.
Dude, absolutely, man. And I have my issues with the whole like kills angle with this movie because again, this is the sequel to this particular trilogy here. So, freaking Brad, are you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Before I let Brad take over the reins here, if again you're new to Goodwill Hunting on the side of the HalloScream Review Series, we're going to go this movie for chronological order the best we can, from beginning to end. Talk about what we liked about some things, what we dislike about some things, and then after that, we're going to do our best kill out of those 31 kills, our WTF moment, and then we will give our overall thoughts about the movie, and then we're going to do a rating, and then send you guys packing for this week for Halloween Ends.
Yes, sir. So this thing, man, like I said a minute ago, it picks up right when 2018 leaves off. And I remember when we did the original review for this, I said this thing has like 4 different openings to it. You know, it has a couple different things, but we'll break them all down. I mean, it starts off again with the John Carpenter score right out of the freaking logo gate, really setting the ambiance of this opening and, you know, bringing us that orange font. Oh, it's Halloween night, all this fun stuff. And then it comes in on Hawkins, Deputy Hawkins, and Cameron. Cameron finds Hawkins. Yeah. Cameron's walking back from the party, the Halloween party where him and Allison just freaking fought, and he presumably broke up. And then he finds Hawkins laying there, and he's, you know, he helps him out. He calls him help, and it cuts to freaking flashback time. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about this damn flashback because this thing was freaking epic as a mofo. This was great.
Oh, dude, absolutely the best part of this movie is the freaking flashback. It kind of almost to a comparison to me, how the Friday the 13th remake did it, how their like whole beginning was the best part of the movie. I easily say the same for Halloween Kills because of this damn flashback.
Yes, and this thing picks up. So this flashback takes us all the way back to 1978. And for the very first time since, I would say 1981 Halloween 2, we actually do feel like it's Halloween again. We feel like this brings us right back to those same vibes of 1978, and somehow they miraculously pulled off the fact that it really does feel like the same night. And man, I think that's so cool that they did that. It goes right back to freaking Michael running down the street. Hawkins is chasing his ass, shooting. He's missing his ass again, like he always does, because Hawkins can't shoot with the shit.
Stormtrooper.
Yes. So that was cool. Going down this little creepy alleyway. I think Michael is lit beautifully here. It looks like he just left freaking Laurie's or the Doyle house after getting shot 6 times by Loomis. And I really think that's good. First off, I want to bring up some awareness about Lonnie's Halloween costume. What the fuck was this Halloween costume? He didn't even have one. He had a red jacket on. Like, that was, come on, quit being lazy, Lonnie.
He was probably being Jack Torrance, man. Give him a fucking break.
Donnie! I know he, nobody liked Lonnie, I guess, but he still, come on, man. Like, just put on a costume. Try something, you know? But you have that scene in the flashback where Lonnie's walking down the sidewalk and he trips. This is after he gets bullied by the kids. And
Lonnie, scrawny.
Yeah. This is right after that. And a cop pulls up and they tell him, all the kids, they're like, hey, get home. There's a psychopath out with a white mask on. He just murdered some people up the street. So all the kids are freaking out. Lonnie's walking home alone and he gets tripped up and then turns around and sees Michael walking at him. And I think in this moment, this little time capsule of a moment, Michael is actually scary as fuck again. Like right here, like in this little thing, walking up the sidewalk, lit perfectly, just approaching Lonnie, nice and slow and easy. That was good. That was really good and scary. That really felt genuine Michael Myers. Genuine.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Very freaking scary. And if you seen the deleted scene of it, like they took out the part where pretty much Michael's pretty much stalking Lonnie a little bit, like with like behind the bush and all that, like recreating that 78 moment. And I wish they would have kept that in there because again, we more stalking Michael the better. It is what it is, but I prefer it to stay in there. But yeah, very scary. And then Hawkins and his partner freaking go to the Myers house, and damn, dude, don't they freaking mark down the details to an exact T? It was almost nearly perfect, looking like the original house in 78.
Oh yeah, freaking spot on, man. Every detail of that house was pre-thought and put in the design, and it was absolutely glorious to see. It really brought us back. It's way better. Halloween 5, okay, mansion house. No, we're not doing that. Halloween 6, yeah, no, we're not doing it. No, we're gonna build the exact same house and we're going to make it look exactly the same. Every detail, wallpaper, everything, the freaking gutter hanging down in the front, everything was right there. Even the tree in the front yard was spot on perfect.
And even the dog.
Yeah, the dog was there. You're right. You're absolutely right. I thought that was so impressive that they were able to do that and really make it feel like the genuine Michael house, which it does play in. Starting at this point, the Myers house comes back into the story of Halloween Kills multiple times. It's a front and center for this movie, and I thought that was a really good move in general to go back to that. For the first time, the original Myers house, not literally because it's not actually the house, but going back to the original design of the Myers house for the first time since 1981, dude. The first time. I guess Resurrection was kind of supposed to be the, it looked okay, but man, this really felt like the same house, man.
Oh, dude, and it was so freaking beautiful to look at too. And so the two officers went up there, and freaking Pete was looking out the same window that Michael Myers was looking out of after he killed his sister, Judith, all those years ago. And then Pete's like, "Oh man, I'm not going to get any action." And right before he finished that sentence, Michael comes in and starts brutally beating the shit out of Pete on the wall, slamming against the wall. And then, of course, Hawkins is like, "Stop, you!" And then he finally shoots, and he finally hits somebody. Yay, Hawkins! But he shoots his own fucking partner instead. And then Michael freaking goes down the stairs like, I don't want any part of his bad aiming. And then he goes out, and then you see all the officers out front, got Michael Myers cornered. And then you hear, is he here? Is the evil here? And then we see freaking Dr. Loomis, freaking lookalike, which I thought the cosplay was spot on. The voice ain't there, but you know what? You can kind of forgive it. And then, of course, you hear, did Michael kill again? Did he kill again? And then that's the end of the flashback. So.
Yeah, dude. But it was really good though. The way they kind of played that out, like you said, Loomis was fantastic. That was really, really solid. The way they made him look. Now he was an idiot because so Michael walks out the front door and he gets surrounded by cops out there, which is really cool. It's symmetrical really to the end of the opening for Halloween 78, where when Michael walks out the house and we get the crane that pulls back right in front of the house with his parents there. Now he's getting caught by the cops. He's getting busted by the cops and does the same thing. The crane pulls out and he's standing there just kind of all awkwardly. Now Loomis was an idiot because there's cops pointing guns at from all different directions, and Loomis is standing right there in front of all the possible gunfire. So if they were to fire at Michael, Loomis would have gone down too, but that's fine. But I do want to just throw out there the look of Michael Myers in this flashback. The design they did for the mask, yeah, it was spot on. And they went through, Christopher Nelson did so much to make this look right. And from every air bubble and every little hair swirl and everything like that in the mask is just spot on match with 78. And that's something they've never been able to do since the first movie. It was really good to see that. It was cool.
Oh, dude, it was so freaking cool. So, freaking Christopher, thank you so much for creating such an awesome mask for us. And I hope they actually get to sell that particular flashback mask in the future on Trick or Treat Studios or wherever you can freaking buy it. And then, of course, after we get that flashback, we get the beautiful title card.
I did want to say real quick, just before we're done with the flashback, I did also really like how they built onto Hawkins' character here, because he mentioned in the first movie, 2018, that he was there that night. We take an opportunity here to really kind of build him up a little bit more and learn more about him. But yeah, that's it. I'm done with the flashback. I just didn't want to go back to it. So you take over.
You're good, because that is a really good point. Like building up the character of Hawkins, possibly one of the few characters in this movie they decide to freaking build. But yeah, then we get to our title card and where the pumpkins are freaking getting lit on fire. We get another amazing score by Johnny Boy Carpenter and his son Cody Carpenter, freaking nailing it as always. I love that title card and the flaming pumpkins. All that's great. And then we freaking get to the bar and we see our freaking doctor and the nurse from 2018.
Hell yeah, dude. They're there. A lot of people are there, man. They're there. They're getting annoyed at some people next to them.
Even the mannequins there.
They get annoyed that people are
dummy, so
yes. They were getting annoyed because everybody was ventriloquist, dude. That was freaking. Remember you said that was Friday the 13th part 7? No.
I just don't give a shit anymore.
That was Humanoids from the Deep, though.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, we find out there Lindsay's there, Lonnie's there, Tommy's there, Nurse Chambers is there. They're all hanging out. We find out they're like they get together every Halloween to celebrate the fact that they survived it 40 years ago. Whatever. I mean, viable? I don't know. I don't think so. That was one of the biggest things we talked about, Birdie, before this movie came out, is that they announced all these returning characters coming back. And we talked about the idea that it was probably like, is it going to be serviceable to the plot or is it going to be fan service? And I think we find out in this very early scene here that it was straight going to be fan service at this point. They really didn't add a lot. They just kind of show up. It wasn't a very natural reunion. It just felt like that they were just, this whole thing where they hang out every Halloween to me is kind of silly.
Dude, absolutely silly. And I know technically it is fan service, but is it really fan service with how they treated them at the end of the day?
No, man, I think they could have done them a lot better, man. A lot better.
Easily they could, especially when you have freaking Tommy Doyle that's supposed to be the lead front of all the legacy characters, and you think they give him like a better character to deal with, and more importantly, put over our newer characters like on the big screen and all that. But no, it was just all about the legacy characters, so fuck the new characters, right?
Yes. Yes.
God, it still pisses me off, man.
Yeah, I know. It didn't make any sense. Now, I will say later, I appreciated Tommy a little bit more this most recent watch, but I still wasn't a huge fan of him. But I did kind of like seeing the first scene with him. I didn't really like, but there's another scene in the bar coming up here in a minute where you can kind of see him getting angry. Like you see him getting upset the fact that Michael's out, and he's like, "I'm not going to let this happen again." You can see this anger in his mind and his eyes kind of brewing, and I kind of like that. But still, he gets silly, man, as the movie progresses. But yeah. So we cut from the bar. They're all having this thing. Tommy's doing, he does a little speech. He tells a little quick story. That's our introduction. Yeah, wherever you are. Then we cut to Lori, who's still in the back of that damn truck from Halloween 2018. She's bleeding out. And then the fire trucks are going to to her house where it's freaking flamed up and shit. Now this again.
Oh no! Let it burn! Let it burn!
And you could see why she would want that to happen. She wants it to be done. That was the whole plan. The whole plan of 2018 is to get Michael in the basement, lock his ass in there with the trap, burn the son of a bitch to the ground, and never hear from his ass again. But just like that, 40 years of planning right out the freaking drain because Michael gets out because the firefighter showed up. She did not think that one out very well because they showed up and they saved his ass from the basement, unintentionally, albeit, but they saved his ass from the basement because the floor caved in. Firefighter falls down in there. Michael freaking murks his ass and gets lifted up by another one. And then this sets up one of the cool scenes in the whole franchise. I don't care if you hate this movie or not. This shit's badass as a mofo, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And they, for one, make it so badass that they decide to use real firefighters, man. And everybody getting all kinds of pissed off. Which, if you get pissed off about that because the firefighters had a really good time on set, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, we freaking established right then and there. You thought the flashback he was damn brutal? He was freaking using pickaxes, freaking buzzsaws. He was using everything he could get. Hell, Michael was so freaking strong, he even was freaking water resistant at one point. Like that water hose wasn't even doing anything. So dude, all that, I agree with you. That was freaking badass. The visuals, the cinematography was awesome with the house on fire, which I'll do a note that they did have freaking, what was it, Brad, like between 2 to 5 hours to film all that while the house was on fire because they only had one shot at it. And David Gordon Green said if they didn't get that shot done, they were fucked.
Yes. And they got it, man. They got it worked. They pull out there with the he's got the freaking what do you call it? The fire tool, the halogen. He comes out there and he's sitting out there with the like you said, the house on flames behind him. He's getting ready to freaking take down some firefighters, man. He's tossing this thing around in his hand, and there's water coming down from where they were spraying it down, which is really cool, man. And he just freaking wreaks havoc on these fools, man. He goes out there, like you said, destroys them. Really cool as hell, man. Really cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude, so damn cool. So we get through that, and then we finally get Lori to the hospital, and then just to make sure she gets all freaking sewed up there and doesn't bleed all over the place. Karen finally has the time to like process everything that happened. That freaking Peter Brown's penis dad is officially dead. Which again, thank you, Michael, for doing the devil's work on that. And then Allison's trying to process things, and it's like, Dad's really gone. It's like, well, he'll always be with us, sweetheart, and all that. So we get all that, and then we're freaking back to the bar. with freaking the gang and everything. And then the nurse and the doctor freaking decide to bolt it on out of there after hearing the news that the freaking killings are happening again. And then they freaking get to their car and they found a little surprise, like what we
They,
call a little Italian surprise.
yeah, Figaro dude was back there, man. What kills me about this scene was actually good. This was a good scene. Of suspense there for a minute. Whenever she does go out to the car, dude's got to go back and get the stethoscope because he left it in there. It'll come in key later for him. It really will. So she goes to the car, yeah, and then somebody's in there, which was good. Like, she gets in the seat and then realizes there's somebody in the back seat, so she freaks out and leaves. And then Tommy's like, "Oh yeah, this Michael, I'm gonna kick his ass." He walks up there with that baseball bat, man, freaking Huckleberry from the bar. And this is one I actually kind of like Tommy. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take care of this shit. I'm not gonna do this anymore." Because at this point, you kind of felt like badass vibes from him. He's walking towards the car, dude. He said, "Michael, we're gonna fucking do this now." Car turns on, freaking Figaro comes on, opera music starts blasting, and then the dude just drives the car straight into a freaking telephone pole across the street, man.
He was not doing very well last night.
No, he did not get the Smiths Grove annual driving lessons at all, dude. That was a hilarious scene, actually. That was really funny. But just prior to that, actually, there's this cool moment where this couple's hanging out at home and they're playing with this drone. It's like a wife and a husband.
The caretaker or the cemetery
yes,
caretaker from 2018. Yeah, and she was flying that drone as they put it in the bathroom, and then the drone flies right back. And this is the part that makes me mad because that is the particular scene that they took out that had Nick Castle in it. So technically, Nick Castle was not in Halloween Kills. Like, what the hell?
I know it does suck they pulled him out. I did see the scene. I didn't really care for the scene, though. I see why they took it out, but I wish they would have put Nick in something else because I don't know. Because the footage that he was in was just when the drone flies in. It's like a POV of the drone footage, which I don't know. Like, it could have been cool, but I really actually like the shot where the dude goes in there and flips the light on, and then Michael just freaking punches it out. He said, "Fuck this, dude. I'm nocturnal. I don't need those lights."
And I'm peeing in here.
Yeah, need some privacy. I got a triple deluxe supreme talking back at me. I'm going to be a while. That's what he said. Yeah, so I do like the way that Michael's presented to us at that point, but I'm with you, man. I wish they would have had freaking Nick Castle in there still.
Yeah, and you know what? If then Michael takes out that frustration, my frustration of taking Nate Castle out by James Jude Courtney, which I didn't touch upon a whole lot in 2018, but dude, James Jude is freaking amazing as Michael Myers, and we'll see how Halloween Ends does to see if he goes beyond Nick Castle and what he does with the Michael Myers character. So time will tell. We'll see about that. But then Michael freaking kills the elderly couple, which they both get brutal deaths, especially the lady with the freaking fluorescent light bulb to the neck. First off, extremely creative. I know they had a really hard time behind the scenes of getting that particular shot in, but I'm glad they were able to pull it off because it was freaking gnarly. And Michael's a damn artist, man, because he keeps her alive so much, like a little bit longer for her to watch her husband freaking kept on getting knifed over and over again. And dude, it's just freaking brutal to watch.
Yeah, dude, I thought these kills were very effective, despite the fact that these characters are mostly unknown. We saw her in 2018, but we don't know who it is. They're not characters we care about. They still did a good job of making you feel the impact of these kills because of the way, A, how brutal they were, B, the blood freaking filling up the thing. That was brutal as hell. But yeah, whenever he's murking the husband after that, and he pulls him out and sits him on the table and starts stabbing him with every knife in the freaking kitchen. It doesn't show Michael necessarily doing that. I mean, he's blurry. He's out of focus in the background, but it's really focusing on her reaction to it. Her sitting there freaking completely powerless, all dying up over there with the light bulb in your neck, just watching your husband get murked by every knife. So that's what I really like the idea of focusing that event on her face more so than the actual carnage itself. You still get to see it, but it's just kind of out of focus, and you see Michael just kind of, his mannerisms were spot on right there and really creepy, I thought. But just seeing her reaction to that was really good, I think, and really made you care about a couple of kills that could have otherwise been, a waste of runtime.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely agree with you with that. If and after that we see Sheriff Barker, freaking the aftermath of the freaking the Laurie's house and all that. It's like, damn, we got a massacre on our hands. And then you see like body parts and everything. And then we go back. I believe this is the first time. This is where it gets like all over the place, really, which is kind of like one of my other negatives. I kind of wish we kind of followed one set or at least two instead of like three different pieces. But we get to the freaking Michael house, all renovated, looking freaking nice and everything. We got our introduction to Big John, Little John, which a lot of people had a problem with Big John, Little John. I absolutely do not. I thought they were freaking fun characters to kind of lift up a mood because, again, it's a horror movie. You got to have your scenes in there to kind of lift the tension up a little bit right before you go back down. And these were two perfect characters to do that.
Yeah, I think they were a standout in the movie. I think they were really, really entertaining. And you think about it this way, you're going to reintroduce the Myers house into the story. A modern, 40 years later, they've tried it a few times. Halloween 5 was a total disaster. Like it was just a vacant old freaking mansion house. 6, you had the Strodes living there. That didn't make any sense. At this point, somebody had to be living in the house to make it, kind of feel relevant, I think. And I think you couldn't have put a better couple of characters to be living in that house. It's not like they're random characters. They're, they very much serve a purpose and they're just the people living there. And I think that's, again, I don't think you could have picked better people to be living in it. They were really great. And they get pranked by the gang from Halloween 3, the people right behind you there, the Halloween 3 freaking trio, dude.
Little bastards.
Yeah, they freaking pranked his ass. Or their asses.
So they get pranked and all that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just take care of the whole Big John, Little John thing, and then we'll get back to it towards the end of the review. After they get pranked, they're settling in for the night. Lil John or Big John just wants to freaking smoke his weed and freaking dance and all that, while Lil John wants to have charcuterie boards and have that ready. They realize somebody's in their house. And then this is actually possibly the funniest thing of the whole movie is Big John picks up the little knife going, I have this knife. And then Little John picks up the big ass knife and goes, I got this knife. And then they keep on going, Big John, Little John. Oh, dude, all that was freaking hilarious. And they freaking just get you into that false sense of security of laughing, because it's no laughing matter once freaking Michael Myers gets his freaking hands on Little John. Or I'm sorry, Big John, by stabbing him in the armpit, which I can't imagine the freaking pang of that. And then again, more beautiful special effects right here, getting the eye gouge right into his freaking eye, dude, and freaking his eyeballs popping out. I'm pretty sure that's deleted scene stuff too, or like extra scenes with the eyeballs popping out. Absolutely loved it, man. And then freaking Little John's like, Michael, you come home, and then he gets his ass murked.
Yeah, dude. The kill was great for Big John. That was fantastic. And the spread on this charcuterie board was fantastic. I would have been there. I would have been in the house knowing Michael Myers is there. I would have taken the risk and went in there at least for a couple bites of the charcuterie board. And then I would have gotten out. But yeah, it looked good. And yeah, I really enjoyed.
I'll eat the Italian like pepperoni.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'll take a one pepperoni maybe. But either way, I think that it was, everything. I really enjoyed all their parts of the movie. Definitely not any weak points there for me. We spent a lot of time at the hospital, kind of going back and forth. This is kind of what you're saying. It's bouncing around a lot. We're going to the hospital. We're going to Big John's house. We're going to Little John's house, even though they're the same house. And, we're going everywhere. We do spend some time at the hospital there. And it's just kind of chaotic there, man. There's a lot of people coming in. Laurie's up there. She's all kind of asleep. Then Hawkins comes rolling in. And like, there's really no rhyme or reason to
see Dr. Satane's penis.
Yeah, dude, the hospital has bodies just laying out in the open for people to see it, man. They're like, oh, they got the blinds open, like just where people are walking by could be like, oh, that guy's got his face smashed in over there. And then later, Oscar's mom comes walking in once chaos really starts happening and sees Oscar laying there. I'm like, that's not.
She wasn't looking at Oscar. She was looking at Sartain's penis.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what is that? But no, that's later on. But then, yeah. Oh my gosh. Then Sheriff Barker and his officer team comes in, interviews Karen and Allison, trying to figure out what the hell happened. And then they got that, and then they decide to give them lovely news that Michael Myers is alive. And then Allison going, what? And then freaking Tommy Doyle and all the gang freaking go to the hospital and I try to figure out what's going on. And then they decide to freaking send the mob out because evil dies tonight. That's their freaking motto, baby. And I fucking hate it, but we'll get more of it later on.
You weren't hating it before the episode.
Oh my god! I know, but you forced me to say it again. We got rid of our producers, and that's why. But nah, I'm messing. But yeah, we get all that. Allison's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go hunt down Michael and end it once and for all." And Karen's like, "No, you freaking go your room. Remember, Cameron broke your heart. Why the hell are you going right back to him? Makes no sense. So go hang out with grandmother." And then Al's like, "Okay, I will." And then just leaves a note. And she freaking leaves with Cameron and Lonnie to go hunt down freaking Michael Myers. I think we started to get all this team and Tommy Doyle's trying to let the whole town know that either stay home or come fight with us. And then that's where we get the group of Lindsay Wallace, playing by the return of Kyle Richards, which I thought that was cool. They brought her back. Marion Chambers, the nurse and the doctor, and they freaking find the freaking these little bastards right here, except for the skull one. He's gone missing somewhere, but Michael found him.
Oh, Michael did, yeah. And this was the scene from the trailer when they go out there, and Lindsay's like, I gotta go talk to these kids, get them out to the playground. There's a freaking killer on the loose, yada, yada, yada. They're all together. You said they were with the nurse and stuff from 2018 too. They were in this
correct.
car. So yeah, they were. Lindsay goes out there to the playground, and then we see Michael. This is a great shot of Michael from a far distance. You can barely see him. You can kind of see that he's holding something. And he's out by the car where the other people are at, and I thought that was really cool. And then this is one of my favorite scenes in general in the whole movie, is Michael just wreaking havoc on this car of our characters that we're following. With the nurse and the other two characters from Halloween 2018, the other nurse, the fake nurse, and the doctor, Halloween costumes, which they're actually a nurse and doctor but reversed in real life.
I know, which I thought that was pretty cool.
So yeah, Michael wreaks havoc on him. We get some kind of similarities to 78 where Michael does the hand smash on Nurse Chambers' window again, which fan service, we get it. They had to go the extra mile to bring us back. I get it. Nurse Chambers sucks ass with a gun, but not as much as the fake nurse does, because she freaking tries to blow Michael away, but he kicks the door and freaking makes her blow herself away. When
man, my theater reacted so big for that. We're all like, "Oh shit!"
That was probably one of the coolest kills in the franchise, just out of the sake of funniest kills in the franchise, I should say. That was fantastic. Everybody else gets murked. The dude, I can't remember his name, but the one
the
dressed
doctor.
Doctor,
I got it right here, Marcus
Chalice. So he gets freaking stabbed in the face. That was a good kill. And Chambers was kind of, it was kind of a letdown. There wasn't a lot of special stuff there. Really, that whole thing, it was just cool.
Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, that was silly, but it was cool seeing Michael just wreak havoc on everybody. And then Lindsay comes running back. She put a bunch of freaking bricks in a pillowcase and comes back and tries to duke it out 1-on-1 with the great one, aka Michael Myers. And she gets kind of her tail kicked a little bit. She does pull his mask off briefly, but then she's able to run. That was smart, yeah, because she got away at that point. She got to go hide in the bushes. And this is one of my favorite parts of this part, is Michael kind of going back in the woods looking for her ass, and it's all dark and you can't really see him. You can just kind of hear him breathing, and she's hiding. She's terrified, and it's really good. I really like that moment.
Yeah, and I will raise you one, my friend. That, to me, that was some of the best cinematography out in the entire movie, was that Michael chasing or stalking Lindsay and all that, and then seeing Lindsay underneath a tree and Michael right above her, just like with the lighting and everything and how they were able to catch all that. To me, it was so perfectly done. And plus, it was my favorite tense scene in the entire movie, too.
I agree, man. It actually was a genuine moment of suspense there. And we didn't know what was going to happen with Lindsay. We didn't know if she was going to get busted or not. And luckily she didn't. She survived. That was really the last time we see Tommy and stuff pick her up here in a little bit from that same hiding spot. Once they come up on the carnage that Michael left by the playground. Of course, when they do come up in a little bit, we'll just go ahead and get to this point since it's all connected. Their Chambers and the other two people are hung up in the Halloween 3 mask all at the
because
playground.
Again, Michael's an artist, so
yeah, he's got them all decked up, dude. Freaking Silver Shamrock for life, man. And that's when they find Lindsay, and that's really the last time we find we see her after they take her to the hospital, and she's
Mhm.
she's coming back. She's still alive. She survived kills, and she'll be back for ends, which is good news. I'm excited to see what they do with her character.
Hopefully something a lot better. Even though like to me, out of the legacy characters, Lindsay was my favorite because I feel like every time she was on screen, she made the most of it. So I'm glad for it. And again, I hope she has a bigger role in Halloween Ends. But again, we will see on all that. But yeah, I'm with Brad. Let's go ahead and just get all the hospital stuff out of the way. Everybody's favorite part in the movie is the hospital stuff.
And one other note to point out in this massacre at the car was the score there. It's one of my favorite pieces of music in the
Yes.
whole movie. When is that the? I don't know what
Is that
is it.
Payback?
It's not Payback. That's later. There's one called Unkillable, but I think that's also later. I'll have to confirm which track it is, but it sounds a lot like Unkillable. It might be the same track.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was
Regardless, it's
freaking awesome.
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was super badass.
Yeah, so we get to the hospital, and Lori, and then that's when Tommy is going back, like, to ask for Lori's advice, and Lori's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, pretty much that's where she figured out Michael Myers is alive, and Lori's all freaking pissed off, freaking injects herself in some good ass drugs, where she can no longer feel anything, So then she's ready to fight. She tells Tommy, "We're gonna fight. That's what we always do." Blah blah blah. And then that's when freaking Hawkins just goes into deeper detail about like it should have been me. Like I could have ended it. I should have ended it. And then we get that flashback of like Hawkins, preventing Dr. Loomis for not killing Michael, which in a way that kind of doesn't make any sense. You got all these freaking officers, they're supposed to obtain the law, and they were just gonna let this freaking mad doctor freaking shoot his own patient in the head. That doesn't make any sense to me. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was a little silly. But you know, the circumstances here, I don't know. In this world of Halloween, I think you could. I don't know. It's an option, I guess. I mean, whatever. Yeah, it is silly though. I did think that was incredibly kind of silly, but I do like what it did for Hawkinson's character. I think it was good. Again, kind of building him up some more. We're learning more about him, about where he came from, how he started, where he is now, and the fact now he doesn't give a fuck. He would
And
blow
between
Michael
him and
away.
Laurie too, I forgot to mention that too. With they had that little like scene together, talking to each other, like had the sweets for each other. Well, Laurie had the sweets for Ben Tramer, of course.
Yeah, it's always been Tramer, dude. He always comes back around. But yeah, they said that. Yeah. So then, like, yeah, this is when the mob really starts up at the hospital. Really, up until this point, I was actually kind of liking Tommy. A minute ago when he found Lindsay, he's like, oh, because he's mad, he's pissed off, and like, he finds Lindsay earlier. And then he says to himself, he says, "All right, man, come get it, man." Talking to Michael, of course, but he's talking to himself, and I like that. It's kind of setting up this mano y mano kind of thing. And I think if they would have really leaned into Tommy's story and just made it that, it could have been much cooler. But no, he gets to the hospital, starts this whole freaking mob scene up. Everybody gets pumped up in the freaking in the lobby. He's doing this whole speech like he's freaking Braveheart out there about to go do this war, and everybody's getting amped up and pumped up, and there's freaking people out there like just doing all kinds of crazy
Even
shit.
freaking Sheriff Braxton cholesterol got freaking high, getting all jacked up and running, going, "Evil dies tonight."
Yeah, dude, I forgot Brackett's there. He's so freaking pointless in this thing too. It was sad to see. I would have liked to see him a little bit more involved. He never even gets a moment with Laurie in this movie. But yeah, he's all pumped up. Sheriff Barker's there. He doesn't say a damn thing. He's just like soaking it all in. He's like, "Man, I'm supposed to be off tonight. These fools are freaking messing me up. I got to cancel Halloween now." All this stuff. He's really not having a good time. And yeah, again, just kind of Barker being worthless as always. But yeah, all that stuff at the hospital there was silly. And then freaking Figaro guy shows back up.
Yeah, freaking guy's name here, Tivoli.
Okay.
Freaking Tivoli, man. Which it's kind of sad. A little side note, real quick, with the actor. Unfortunately, he didn't get to see this movie after they got done filming it because he sadly passed away. So I do feel bad for him on that pretty side of things. But when it comes to this whole hospital scene and his story arc, what the actual fuck was this? Like, we could have taken out, like, we could have taken 15 to 20 minutes of this hospital bullshit and then added into our newer characters and given them more character arc and build up and shine everything. But instead, we want to have freaking Tommy Doyle, who knows what Michael Myers looks like. He knows for a fact that Michael's not going to shrink. He knows that Michael is not going to gain 250 pounds off of freaking prison food. But like, dude, come on. Like, this is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
He literally looks like the Penguin, like Danny DeVito out there running around. I don't know what the freaking mix-up was. This was the silliest part. This part alone brings this movie down like a whole freaking star. Like it's ridiculous because it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't provide any value to the movie. You've already hammered home the fact that this mob's kicking off. There's a million ways you could have said mob and, went down the whole mob mentality, negative aspect ratio of that. I don't know where the ratio part came from. I just got to talking too fast for myself, but there's a whole different way. You could have done that very briefly, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It could have just been half a scene. It doesn't really matter, but they have to spend this whole 20-minute segment of him getting chased around the freaking hospital. The only thing we're missing here was Batman himself, man. Like, that was the only thing that could have capped this thing off and made it feel like a genuine Batman movie, because that's what they were going for, man. Because Penguin's on the loose and we got to catch his ass, and they do, and they throw him. He gets penciled in the stupid lobby upstairs, and of course Judy Greer tries to save her with his Christmas sweater and all that stuff, and then he ends up freaking said he gets pinned in and jumps out the damn window, and we get a cool little POV shot of him falling down, flying Figaro, I call him. He goes splat. Good effects on the kill, but the whole thing was so pointless and weird and just was not needed in this movie at all.
And made everybody really look bad too, especially for Karen too, because we had that one saving grace from 2018 with the whole gotcha thing. And I'm like, cool, we could really like expand upon this and really bring out the more badassness of Karen. Nope, they pretty much did the exact same thing in 2018, made her look like a weak-ass character from the beginning, very weak in the middle, and somewhat of a badass at the end, even though I don't think her second gotcha was more impactful than the first one. I feel like the first one was way more impactful because we did not expect that from her. But so all that was completely pointless. And then we get to go. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it was that. It was completely pointless. There was no repercussions for it later. There was nothing that came back to this moment in the film later on. It could have been cut out entirely, and you would have never known it was there. Like, it was just it was just there. And that's what really just kills me about it, is the fact that you said it best. It's pointless. It's completely pointless.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just pointless.
I know, like, we're so frustrated, guys. Like, it's just pointless. And then what's pointless too is freaking Allison in this movie, because she's the future of the Halloween franchise, and we didn't do anything with her. Instead, what we did is, again, a goose chase between Cameron, pretty much the guy that she broke up with, and all of a sudden is also back with him, and all that. And then freaking Lonnie, and then they freaking go to they figure out the whole master plan is Michael always goes home. And so after, good night of killing and all that.
It took a fucking map for them to figure that out, too. They had this whole fucking... if you put all these in a line, it goes right back to the Myers house. No shit, it goes back to the Myers house. Come on, that'd be the first place you got to check. That's what Loomis did.
They did mention something about the sewers, didn't they?
I think they actually did, or it was on the.
That's how it freaking all ties in, man. That's how it freaking gets from freaking area. No transportation. It's all the sewer system, which I'm sure they'll just expand more upon on Halloween Ends. Oh my god! But anyways, we're going to wrap things up now. So we get to the Myers house with freaking Allison, Cameron, and Lonnie. The dad goes in first. He's like, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." And he freaking goes in there, and then we hear gunshots, and then that's when Allison and Cameron's like, we need to go figure out what that noise is. So they freaking go in there trying to figure out what that noise is. And then Cameron finds his dad, and Michael pops out of the closet, freaking just, oh my God, freaking tears Cameron up. Freaking stabbing him, freaking just twisting his body around with the stairs. Allison gets in a couple of good licks with the knife, and then Michael's like, good for you, kid. Now go break a leg, and chucks her ass right down the stairs. And she legit took things way too literal or too figuratively with me. She did breaks her leg, and then she has to watch as Cameron gets fucked up more.
Yeah, and again, the score here is fantastic. During this whole sequence of events,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
payback.
payback is coming up when Michael gets payback here in a minute. Um, Whenever he goes out to get, if I'm not mistaken, it's whenever he's chasing Judy after she picks up the mask
Oh,
is when it
okay.
starts. But I think this is the unkillable track, which I think
Yes,
that's
okay, yes,
also a
yes.
version that we heard earlier. It's really epic. It's fantastic. I mean, this is some of John Carpenter's best work he's doing. And his sons too, or his son, doing a great job with all this. And yeah, I really like that. And yeah, I think they could have done more with Allison. It would have been nice. I would have rather seen her than the 20-minute scene of the hospital and
Mhm.
all the other characters that just ended up being pointless. But I do like her growth in the movie overall. We could have had more, but I like, she gets a moment earlier where she defies her mom. She's like, and I'm not staying at the hospital. I'm going out and hanging out with freaking Lonnie and Cameron, and we're gonna go freaking tear some shit up. I like that. And I like this moment here where she decides to go again. She's going one-on-one with Michael there for a second, and yeah, it doesn't go well for her, but yeah, it was a good moment, and it sets up probably a nice redemption for her in the next movie.
Mhm.
So that I think that's cool. But yeah, we could have had more. But yeah, she breaks a leg. She's about to get slayed by Michael. Judy shows up. Karen shows up, I should say. Pitchforks his ass. All that stuff was good. And then she gets her hands on the mask at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gets his hands on the mats, and right before that, as Michael's coming down the
Oh shit!
stairs, yeah, looks at camera. It's like, I'm gonna make you watch this bitch because she kind of got a good licks in me. Again, he's an artist; he needs an audience. So, freaking just bam, and just the sound effect of that neck snap is so damn disturbing. So, freaking Cameron's dead. Destiny, I'm sorry, he's dead. So,
He's not just dead, dude. He's dead as a mofo.
dead as a mofo was right. Allison's all freaking broken up there. She can no longer function. And then she's even broken at this point. It's like, you know what? Just do it. Do it. And then that's when Karen comes in with the freaking pitchfork, freaking gets Michael, and then freaking steps on Michael's head. You think she freaking get the job done and keep on continuously stabbing and all that, but no, the next good idea is grabbing the mask and just go, is this what you want? Come and get it. And then just lures Michael into another trap. Gotcha part 2. And then that's when Sheriff Brackett goes, it's Halloween, Michael. Everybody at that time of the one gets scared. And then they fucking just beat down Michael.
I don't know. Yeah, that was the stupidest freaking thing. The line, again, fan service, no other reason for that line to be said. It doesn't make sense in the moment, not at all. It doesn't, Brackett doesn't even remember the fact that he said that 40 years ago. That's not something that he doesn't remember.
Like
that
the
one time
Brackett we know, he would have already shot him and not ask any questions or come up with any one-liners. He didn't just wait there for 40 years to use that one-liner,
Yeah, that's so fucking stupid, man. And I do like the first part of this scene. Michael gets beat down by everybody. He gets the shit beat out of him. Like he's getting shot. He's getting his kick. Yeah, people are hitting him with irons and all kinds of shit. Just freaking takes a beating, man. And it's kind of goes back to the hospital a couple times, like just seeing Laurie and whatever. But I think Hawkins talks a little bit. And, Michael ends up getting back up. He lures them into a false sense of security. But then they come over. And then he ends up starting slaying people, man. He kills the whole crew. And I do like the badassery here from Michael, but I don't think the way it was shot, you really don't know what the fuck's going on. You just see freaking knives getting slayed. You see blood freaking raining. It's like, I would have liked to see that shot a little bit more clear and really let Michael have a John Wick kind of moment where he just fucking rips people up.
Kind of like how we did it, right, Brad?
Yeah, precisely. Where it's nice and smooth, and we can see him just kind of crank it out, man.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And then he freaking murks everybody. And then Tommy got the worst of it, not only getting stabbed, and Michael takes freaking good old Huckleberry. And he's like, never heard of this person. And then breaks the bat on Tommy, and then gets the broken in and stabs him. Freaking brutal as all get out. And then while all that's happening, across the street, or a couple, houses down, everybody's at the Myers house, like, cleaning up the mess, and Karen's consoling Allison and all that. And then Karen all of a sudden wants to go up to the freaking Myers bedroom, or Judith Myers' bedroom, look out the window, just kind of like trying to get in the mindset of freaking Michael and all that. And then fucking Michael Myers comes out of nowhere and just starts stabbing her ass and freaking killing Karen. Like, holy shit, right? But it's not holy shit that Karen died. It is holy shit. How the hell did Michael surpass all those freaking officers through Alice and nobody hear Karen screaming at all? Like, what the actual fuck is this?
Not to mention, she didn't hear him walking up. The house is from the freaking 70s at the
I know the
earliest.
floor's got a creak.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on, man. And it's hardwood in there. It just, yeah, that was weird, man. I'm glad they killed Karen, but because I wanted this movie to do something, like kill somebody. Let's go somewhere. So I'm glad they did
felt
that.
cheap though too.
It did. I didn't like the way it just kind of happened, kind of out of nowhere like that. Now, granted, they're setting up ends. They're trying to do this thing with Laurie, and the original ending was really cool because it was gonna, where Laurie's calls her and Michael picks up the phone and they're listening to each other, and Michael's like, "I'm coming to get your ass." That, because they were originally going to do it the same night. Halloween Ends was going to be the same night. That was going to immediately lead into that, which would have been a cool ending for that story. I see why they changed it because they got to spread it out a little bit now. But man, dude, how cool would the ending have been? Instead, they did this whole mob beatdown. It was just Tommy and freaking Michael one-on-one, somehow at one point, and really just kind of driving home that whole badass Tommy versus Michael deal. And, Tommy would end up dying still, but that would have been kind of cool. But the mob thing was cool. All that was cool. It was fine. It sets it up. It kind of just felt, at the time I remember watching this, I was like, man, I kind of feel a little bit let down by this ending. But now, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and then like what that could have happened too is like Allison, like is getting all freaking broken up there, bitch. She's about to get killed, and then that's when Karen could have made that ultimate sacrifice. Like to keep Allison alive and to try to like, Allison, you're the next chance, or it's something, just something, say something.
Yeah, say something.
And all that. And then I did like the deleted scene of how like Laurie's like, "I'm coming for you, Michael," and walking through the hallway with the knife. That's badass, but I'm with you, Brad. I understand that they were trying to set up for Halloween Ends and for the whole 4-year time jump. That in the kind of like the theatrical ending makes more sense in that way. So even though like I feel like towards the end too, like they were like, "Oh shit, we do have another movie after this, and we're gonna have to attach something into it." So I feel like it was just lazy, man. I was extremely disappointed. And after all of that, the end.
It just all felt, with the fact that Karen is in fact gone, the whole movie felt kind of inconsequential. But I will say, looking back, I was more disappointed with it last year when I saw it. But now going in, like, I know this is just it's kind of like Halloween 2 from 81. This is an expansion pack for Halloween 2018. This is just seeing more of the carnage from this night. This is just Michael on a tear. It's not meant to be anything more than that. It's just meant to be Michael tearing shit up, and then how are we going to cap it off from here? So going in with that kind of lens, I did like this movie a bit more the second time around. Or I guess it was the third or fourth time around technically, but it just, seeing it for what it is, just kind of, a little bit of a continuation, more Michael tearing shit up. And yeah, I appreciated it for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome. And let's freaking go to WTFs and kills, man. Do you have a best kill for this movie out of all the 31 kills?
Dude, it's the light bulb, man. That was the coolest thing that got the biggest reaction from me. Just seeing that freaking light bulb fill up with blood after getting jammed in somebody's neck. That was pretty gnarly.
All right. And what about a WTF moment? Because there were a few of them.
We all know it's a Figaro, the flying Figaro. That whole segment of the movie was just so freaking dumb. So yeah, it's got to be that, man.
Yeah, man. Those are good picks. And dude, best kill for me, I could go with a lot of them, but I have to freaking go with the freaking Big John. With the whole like knife in the armpit and the freaking like thumbs in the eyeballs and all that, because that practical effect was absolutely just stunning to look at. So I picked that for my best kill. And my WTF, I just got to go back with Dr. Satan's penis. Why? Why did they have to show that? They could have covered him up with a towel and all that. And plus, like you said, kind of like the freaking having that room like with the windows open and everything for anybody to look at with like 10-year-old little, or what about Julia just walking down like if he turns and sees Sartain's penis and goes, "Oh shit," and then just runs the other way, man. So it's just, what the fuck?
Peanut butter on the penis too, man. Yeah, I agree.
You're fucking gross. But okay, let's freaking. You can tell we've been doing this for 12 weeks, guys. So, Brad, overall thoughts and a movie rating.
Well, like I just said, I did appreciate this time watching it for what it is, just more, carnage. I really, it works really well for that. That's all it is. It's just a full chance, an hour and a half of Michael tearing shit up, and that's all it needed to be as kind of a bridge piece. It didn't move the story along that much, but that's okay because, again, this is still the 2018 story we're following here. Yeah, overall, again, this is the most brutal Michael as far as the number of kills goes and the different ways he's killing people and stuff like that. So I appreciate it for that. And yeah, I'll give it a 3.75, man.
Oh damn, you've really gone up there, man. So that's freaking awesome. So for me, overall movie thoughts, pretty much the best way I can describe Halloween Kills, for me, or just the best way I could describe it, slasher movie, absolutely terrific. Halloween movie, absolutely dreadful because Michael's not that type of a slasher. He's more the stalking kind. So they did do their accomplishment with Halloween Kills, make Michael kill freaking brutal. Mission accomplished. But the thing you did mostly wrong is this is the sequel to your movie, and the sequel is supposed to be your gateway into the third one to set up the third one, the importance of the third one. They absolutely just blew all that out of the water. They even, like I said, I felt like they forgotten they were making the trilogy. They had to throw something in last minute at the end to say, oh, these two attached. So it's really, this is the most frustrating movie of all time for me because a lot of problems with the story and the comedy in this movie. However, Michael Myers looks so much like a badass. He looks great. His kills were brutal and all that. And the flashback scene, absolutely terrific. So for me, on the scale or Goodwill scale, this movie will always be a 3 out of 5.
Nice.
So with the 3.75 and with the 3, that is going to be a Dance with Freaking Jimbo, man.
But I don't. Yeah, man. That's the biggest. Michael was badass, man. You got to give it that, and he did. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll see how Halloween Ends goes to see if James Jude Courtney would be the best Michael Myers of all time. I'm looking forward to that. Our Halloween Ends is coming up. We're going to be doing a spoiler-free review, and a watch party. That's what we're going to be doing with Halloween Ends. So be sure to freaking just tune in, guys. And we hope you enjoyed this Halloween Kills review and the HalloScream Review Series.
Right, you are, man. We'll see you again for the fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. So let's go ahead and send you guys packing, getting ready for Halloween Ends. What did you all think about Halloween Kills? Did you really enjoy this movie? And did you have a freaking slashing good time? Or did a lot of the problems in this movie just really bring it down for you? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do Super Fun Us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, and Twitter. And, of course, Patreon as well. Those links are for you to find down below.
Absolutely, and be sure to also join our other YouTubing buddies as they are doing their Halloween Kills reviews, kill counts, especially the kill count because Matt's gonna have a freaking tall order with that video. So check all of them out today or at some point this week. And of course, if you want to keep supporting your boys from Good Real Hunting, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe, and of course ring that bell, ding ding ding, so you all know when the Halloween Ends content is up and ready. And until then, we'll freaking see y'all later because as of right now, evil dies tonight.
Happy Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's entitled to one good scare.